if I'm an investor, I'm pretty happy I get this opportunity at Tesla again, because they're about to have an amazing run in 2022. So the company's doing great. And so we've got this confluence of demand and really a limited supply of vehicles. And Tesla is the king of this transition. Well, I think there's a bigger issue. Nothing with Elon is ever on the surface. There's a deeper issue that myself and Elon are concerned about, which is socialism in this country and the attacking of entrepreneurs.
Hey, I'm Steven and this is Solving the Money Problem. If you're new, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. So as Elon Musk continues to sell off his Tesla stock getting smashed once again today, presenting a prolonged buying opportunity for smart investors, in my opinion. I'm going to be reacting to some comments from long-term Tesla bull Ross Gerber discussing Elon's sale of Tesla stock, the Hertz deal, Tesla's infinite demand, and some thoughts around the shade currently being thrown at Elon Musk by the insane socialists trying to take over the United States of America. So first of all, let's take a quick look at what happened to Tesla stock today. We can see the stock open immediately falling off a cliff, staying fairly flat at lower levels for most of the day before rocketing back into the close, and now fairly flat after hours as I record this. We can see the total volume of Tesla stock traded up the right there, around 34.7 million shares, considerably above the average for the last 3 months, which is around 23 million. As we can see here, Tesla closing at exactly a $1 trillion market cap. By the way, if you guys are curious, we're currently looking at data via the WeBull app. I spend way too much time in the WeBull app, not gonna lie. And if you guys haven't already, you can get 2 free stocks with WeBull using the link in the description. Once again, my suspicion here, Elon Musk continuing his stock sale, selling off in dribs and drabs, making quite a statement to the stock market, and again, presenting a wonderful buying opportunity. Let me know in the comments below if you've been buying the recent dip in Tesla stock. As I shared with you guys previously, I've purchased 91 shares of Tesla stock in total in November. As most of you already know, and as my brand new merch design shows, I'm all in on Tesla stock, and I literally do mean all in. Currently have 6,117 shares of Tesla stock in my stock portfolio and no other stocks, period. If you want your own I'm all in on Tesla stock merch, check out the link in the description. Shirts, hoodies, phone cases, phone tough cases, mugs, and plenty more. I launched these yesterday. A ton have already been ordered. A lot of people have been asking for this, so I'm happy to give the people what they want. And speaking of being all in on Tesla stock, if you're currently supporting me on Patreon, I highly recommend checking out the most recent video I posted. You'll understand what I mean when you watch it. And with that said, let's get into the video. If you love crypto, stocks, and free stuff, or just want to help out the channel, check out these great offers. BlockFi are launching the world's first Bitcoin rewards credit card. People in the US can earn 1.5% Bitcoin back on every purchase with no annual fee using the BlockFi Bitcoin rewards credit card. Check out the link in the description. And for a limited time, you can get up to $250 in crypto bonuses when funding a new account on BlockFi, where you can use cryptocurrency to earn interest, borrow cash, and buy or sell crypto. If you want your free crypto, use the link in the description. And if you'd like up to 2 free stocks, check out the link in the description to WeBull. If you open a new account, you'll get 1 free stock valued up to $300 just for opening an account. And if you make an initial deposit of $5 or more, you'll get a second free stock valued up to $2,000. Seriously. Free stocks? Yes, please. And finally, if you're in Australia, the UK, or New Zealand, you can get a free stock with stake, also linked in the description. Thanks so much for your support, guys. Let's get back to it.
Tesla no longer in the Ford Comma Club. The market value, the market cap falling below $1 trillion. Once again, stock down 4% today, off 20% from its record high only a few weeks ago, but don't call it a bear market. And we want to talk to Ross Gerber now of Gerber Kawasaki Wealth and Investment Management. He is a CEO there. Ross, good to talk with you today. How much of this decline that we've seen has to do with Elon Musk? I believe he's reportedly sold about $6.9 billion with more on the way.
Yeah, I mean, it's 100% Elon. Certainly the stock was very high priced and priced for perfection, and having the CEO dumping potentially 20 billion of stock puts a lot of supply out on the market, and we're seeing the market react as such. Not to mention he's done it in sort of a sloppy manner, or a unique manner that is typical of Elon, which creates disruption, but it also creates opportunity for long-term shareholders. So we're kind of happy about it.
So lots of things to discuss here. First of all, I completely agree with Ross Gerber here. I think that this is an incredible buying opportunity for smart investors. Tesla stock on up to a 20% discount from recent highs. As I mentioned, I picked up 91 shares, a little over $100,000 going in this month. I was scrambling to get the cash together, pulling a lot of levers, doing whatever I could to get capital available to buy this dip. As most of you watching will know, I'm a long-term investor, and I think in a decade, the prices today that people were able to buy Tesla stock for, $980, $1,000, $1,100 per share, are going to look like a rounding error. And this isn't hyperbole. If you're not already supporting the channel on Patreon, check out the card in the corner or the link in the description to get access to my always up-to-date Tesla stock price targets, bear case, base case, and bull case, and you will know exactly where I'm coming from and why I scrambled so hard to buy this most recent dip. I also want to take a moment to discuss the stock market reaction, not to the act of Elon selling, but the news that he would be selling. Most of you will recall I made a video after Tesla stock had absolutely destroyed, crashing about 12% in a single day on insane volumes, almost 3 times the normal daily volume on Tesla stock. I said that I was extremely confident that Elon Musk had dumped all of his Tesla stock in a single day. However, there was about a 0.0042069% chance that Elon hadn't sold all of his stock. This was instead mass panic in the stock market, brain dead investors bailing out of Tesla stock, scared because Elon will be selling. Turns out it was the latter. I also in that video said that if this is the case, this will be the single dumbest thing I've ever seen occur in the history of the stock market. I don't know what else to say. What's that quote? Be fearful when others are greedy, and greedy when others are fearful, aka buying the dip with every spare cent available, which is what I personally did. Of course, that's not investment advice. I'm just telling you when everyone's panicking, oh my god, Elon's selling stock! I'm like, dude, down 12% because Elon's selling a tiny bit of his, yeah, okay, I'm buying big time.
Ross, this is Emily here. Continuing on that point, we knew that Elon Musk was going to have to sell stock at some point to cover income taxes for exercising options that would otherwise be expiring next August. So why do you think there was all this volatility with the stock in response to that Twitter poll last week, in response to some of the other Twitter commentary he's been making recently, when this was in many ways a known outcome in the coming months?
Well, I think there's a bigger issue. You know, nothing with Elon is ever on the surface. There's a deeper issue that myself and Elon are concerned about, which is socialism in this country and the attacking of entrepreneurs.
Ross Gerber has hit the nail on the head here. Now, I don't know how to say this delicately, so instead, I'll just say it accurately. There is a relatively large, extremely vocal cohort of people in the United States who, generally speaking, are below or far below average intelligence, well below average in terms of their mental health. They usually suffer from depression and or self-hatred, some combination thereof, and I'm not making light of this, I'm being honest and accurate, who get triggered by people who've actually put in the hard work and are, quote, more successful than they are. These people only ever hate up, and Elon Musk is the lowest hanging fruit. Of course, when you're at the absolute bottom of the dominance hierarchy, everyone is above you, so there's a lot of hate from these people to anyone who is doing better than they are. And there's gigantic douchebags like Robert Reich and socialists like Bernie Sanders who are pandering to and manipulating these easily misled fools. Because there's such a large number of these self-hating, toxic, let's just be honest, losers, they can create a huge amount of heat that's unfairly directed towards people like the world's richest man, Elon Musk, because these poor fools have a worldview. If somebody is successful, if somebody's accumulated wealth, the only possible way for them to have achieved that is to hurt other people on the way. This is what happens when you have such a dark psyche and so much self-hatred that you're blinded to reality. There is no reasoning with these fools. 1, they're too stupid, and 2, they're too emotional to engage in a logical, rational, and reasonable discussion. For example, Tesla transforming the entire internal combustion engine industry toward electric vehicles, save the planet. Elon Musk providing hundreds of millions of dollars to incentives, to prizes, donations. Let's ignore all of that. Never mind the 100,000+ people that Elon Musk is employing through his companies. Let's ignore all of that. Let's ignore the fact that Elon Musk has slaved away working 80+ hour weeks his entire adult life. Let's ignore all the sacrifices the guy's made, because he makes me hate myself even more. Therefore, fuck Elon Musk, tax the rich, billionaires suck. Now, before we move on, just one final thought. Actually, it's not a thought, it's a fact. Every single person who hates Elon Musk also hates themselves. There are 0 exceptions to this rule. To be clear, there's plenty of people who hate themselves who don't also hate Elon Musk, but there are no people who hate Elon Musk who don't also hate themselves.
And sort of painting everybody with this brush that we're not paying our fair share. I pay a 53% tax rate, so I find it incredibly insulting to have Biden saying I'm not paying my fair share. Now, in Elon's case, because he doesn't earn any income, there was a lot of criticism that he wasn't paying his fair share. So I think he's showing the effect on the capital markets. If there was something like a tax on capital, it would be devastating to the stock market to have founders across every business in America having to sell stock to pay Bernie Sanders' tax. So there's a bigger thing that Elon's showing is that it costs investors $200 billion for Elon to pay a few $1 billion in taxes. And it's an absurd system of taxation that we have today. And it's absurd for the Democrats to be attacking the most successful people in our society.
Again, I'm in total agreement with Ross here. This is absurd. It's also unreasonable. It's unfair. It's shameful. And I'm not going to lie, it's a little heartbreaking too. The fact that there's that many people out there that are so hateful, so venomous, so envious, so jealous, so dark, so toxic, that they can be so easily misled and manipulated into directing their own self-hatred outward towards some of the most successful, important human beings who've ever lived. I mean, Elon Musk is arguably the most important human being in the last few hundred years, if not the history of Earth. How many human beings can you personally think of who've had more of a significant positive impact on Earth than Elon Musk? Let me know in the comments below.
If they're going to attack rich people, they should attack all these Trustafarian kids and the kids who inherit all this money and never work a day. That, I think, is a reasonable attack, you know?
Probably a reasonable point here. If you are going to tax the rich, so to speak, probably better to prey on the people who've done literally nothing for their wealth rather than actually work their face off for decades in a row and significantly positively impacted the world, right? By the way, special shout out to some of my, what did he call them? Trustafarians. I know there's a bunch of people, trust fund kids and stuff watching this channel. I get a lot of DMs and I've had some crazy stories. A bunch of people sort of watching the channel in the early days, putting sort of $10-15 million that they previously had in a bunch of different stocks, going all in on Tesla, now worth hundreds upon hundreds of millions of dollars. Never worked a day in their life. I honestly don't know how they do it. I'd become so depressed if I was sitting around doing nothing and sitting on hundreds of millions of dollars. But hey, whatever works.
But Elon, I mean, this is the innovator of our time and he's frustrated. I get it.
Yeah, Ross, I think I have tremendous respect for Elon. I'm just wondering if he went a little bit too far over the edge with some of his ad hominems against Bernie Sanders. And, it kind of gets back to what you were talking about before. You have this kind of hothead CEO, but then it provides investment opportunities. Does that mean that you like those dips when they happen so you can buy the stock?
Well, I don't get like getting the barrage of emails and messages from my clients who go into, oh, Elon's back at this again. And I said, no, he never stopped. When you invest with Elon Musk, you're investing with Elon Musk. And if you're not comfortable with who he is, you shouldn't be an investor. He's made us a fortune, literally fortunes.
Couldn't agree more with Ross on this point. I've said it countless times in the past. If you don't like Elon Musk's style, get the fuck out of Tesla stock. People are packages. You don't get to pick and choose. You get everything that comes in the package. And if you don't like what's in the package, find a different one. That being said, there is a subset of people who, despite being a package, care so much about the opinions of other people that they try to contort themselves and conform to what other people want them to be. I personally find these people repugnant. They have absolutely no spine, no self-esteem, no courage, no individuality, and therefore they get zero of my respect. I'd much rather somebody be who they are, their genuine self, even if I'm not a fan of certain attributes of how they show up, than to present a phony facade trying to please and pander to people.
I think it's a volatile stock because you're investing with Elon, and I call it Elon risk. But it creates opportunities for people who can see through and see the point of what he's really trying to say. And so the fact that I felt like the stock was getting away from me and there was no way I could actually buy the stock at $12.50. Now I see it at less than 1,000. If I'm an investor, I'm pretty happy I get this opportunity at Tesla again because they're about to have an amazing run in 2022. So the company's doing great.
Another fantastic point here from Ross. What matters isn't what Tesla's stock price is at, how the stock's performing, is it up, is it down, who cares? What matters is how are Tesla executing? What does the future look like? And at this point in time, as we already know, Tesla has won the decade. They're in a dominant position. They're becoming more and more profitable. They're scaling up production, building new factories, absolutely slaying it on everything that matters.
Ross, you talked about this amazing run coming in 2022. Can you expand a little bit more on what you see as being the catalyst here for this company in the next year?
By the way, just before Ross answers here, I've got to give some credit where it's due. You guys who are regular viewers of the channel will have seen me taking a dump on practically everyone in the mainstream finance media. Year after year, these guys and girls, no idea what the fuck they're talking about. But there are a few exceptions, a few beacons of reason in a sea of stupidity. And Emily, I don't know what her last name is, but Emily is among them. I've never seen her ask a stupid question or be unnecessarily negative toward Tesla or any other companies. Melissa Lee, Andrew Sorkin, and David Faber over on CNBS are about the only other exceptions to the rule. They're the only names that come to mind in the entire mainstream finance media. Maybe I'm forgetting a few people, but generally speaking, the talking heads in the mainstream finance media are generally a combination of clueless, moronic, negative, and or uninformed. So, got to give a little bit of credit where it's due.
So what we're having right now is making me super happy is the tipping point for EVs has happened.
He ain't wrong. Last I heard, EV sales now about 10% of vehicle sales globally. I mean, who would have predicted this 12, 18 months ago, apart from the likes of Tony Sieber and Kathy Wood, of course.
And we've seen it with the Rivian IPO. We've seen it with Lucid's now delivering cars and how the stock has done. And now with Polestar up $3 today as people figured out this is a great electric car maker here with Polestar GGPI. So when you look at what Tesla's done is they've advanced sustainable transportation, which is their mission. And now the demand for EVs, even Ford's demand for the Mach-E is off the charts. And so like when you look at the demand for electric vehicles, while oil prices have soared and consumers are just getting gouged and complaining about inflation, which is all at the pump. And I'm like, you have a solution for inflation. It's an EV. So every Tesla is sold. And now we have the rental businesses going in and buying EVs. And what I've seen from the rental companies I've talked to is they're looking at buying every EV they can. And so we've got this confluence of demand and really a limited supply of vehicles. And Tesla is the king of this transition. So as they ramp production with the Gigafactory in Texas coming online next year, the demand for their vehicles is off the charts, and they're getting bigger and bigger margins as they increase prices.
So as this demand that you're seeing there for Teslas, you're not concerned that this deal with Hertz that hasn't been signed yet for 100,000 cars might just be a fleet deal that came a little bit too early. Elon Musk has maintained that it is totally a supply problem, not a demand one. I'm just wondering what you see kind of reading between the lines.
No. So there is no deal with Hertz, and there's not going to be a deal with Hertz. Hertz is just buying Tesla cars online. They have a team doing it now.
Finally, somebody gets it. There was so much controversy over this, a lot of misreporting in the mainstream finance media. Again, one of the reasons I rip on these clowns constantly. Here's what happened. Hertz went, hey Tesla, we want 100,000 Teslas. And Tesla said, great, go buy them online, bitches. You're not getting a discount. We've got so much demand. We're not going to do anything whatsoever. Go order them on our website. And Hertz went, are you fucking serious? Really? Okay, f*** it, we'll do it. The reason for this is quite simple. Tesla is in a position of strength. They don't need to pander, they don't need to please, they don't need to do anything for Hertz. They don't offer discounts to anyone. You go on the website, you buy a Tesla, you pay whatever the price is, and that's that. And Hertz knew full well that there was no better deal on the market in terms of cost of ownership, everything, right? They did the numbers, went, you know what? Paying market price for these Teslas, still a phenomenal bargain. Let's get a team set up to order these things. And this is literally what's been happening. We can see the standard range Model 3 delivery times now have pushed out further and further and further. So here's how the mainstream media interprets the lack of a contract, which is so unheard of. Instead of thinking a little bit and realizing the dynamics here, the demand situation, the position of strength, blah, 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 like, oh my God, there's no contract. Maybe the deal's not going to happen. Oh my God, should we be worried? Meanwhile, an informed investor realizes that Tesla is simply swinging around their gigantic demand backlog.
They have cars that you can rent. They're running commercials on YouTube and full page ads in the paper advertising you can rent a Tesla. So they're buying cars. Now you can go on right now and try to buy a low end Model 3 and you just can't. They're sold out till next year sometime. So what we're seeing now is on the low end Teslas, they're all being bought by Hertz. And so you have to buy a long range model if you want to take delivery of a car. We're also seeing delivery of the Model X now, which we haven't seen all year. So with X and the Model S refresh now being delivered, plus higher margins on all their cars, plus all the advances they have with full self-driving, and the Gigafactory opening in Texas, I mean, how is Tesla not one of the most exciting companies in the world?
No question, Tesla is one of the most exciting companies in the world. In fact, in my opinion, they are the most exciting company in the world right now. SpaceX, of course, being the most exciting company off this world. I get it, because my life. So hope you guys and girls have enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments below once again if you've been buying the Tesla stock dip recently, how many shares, what have you been paying, maybe what's your average price. Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget, if you want to flex in a great conversation starter, check out the link in the description or the card in the corner for the I'm all in on Tesla stock merch designs, the shirts, long sleeves, hoodies, mugs, phone cases, and plenty more. And a sincere thank you to everybody helping to support the channel via the merch store. Over 50 units of this design have sold in the first 24 hours. And finally, if you're not already over on Patreon, what are you doing with your life? Check out the card in the corner or the link in the description. Sign up, you'll gain access to over 100 pieces of exclusive content. There's a bunch of perks. Every Patreon supporter also gains access to my Tesla stock price targets over the next 10 years. These are updated regularly, and investor tier supporters and above can also access my full Tesla valuation model. Check out the link in the description. I'm Stephen Mark Ryan. This is Solving the Money Problem, and I love you all. And don't forget the BlockFi Bitcoin Rewards credit card, where you can earn 1.5% Bitcoin back on every purchase. There's a link in the description. You can also earn up to $250 in crypto bonuses when funding a new account on BlockFi, also linked below. And finally, don't forget your free stocks with WeBull and Stake, also linked in the description. These great offers also help out the channel. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And of course, if you have any ideas for future videos, let me know. I read all your comments. P.S. If you're still watching, you're awesome. If you'd like early access, exclusive videos, regular Q&As, our private Discord server and more, consider supporting the channel at patreon.com/solvingthemoneyproblem so I can keep creating content for you guys. There's a link in the description. You can now also become a member of the channel for some exclusive perks. To learn more, click the join button next to subscribe. And don't forget to check out our merch store. Either way, the best form of support is you being here and watching, so thanks again.